It is summertime, but the snow is falling, so people on the streets look at it in disbelief. Some man called Mikuni is standing on a rooftop, and he is accompanied by his Servamp Doubt. In an apartment block nearby we see Mahiru. He is also looking at the snowfall and thinks how there must be a vampire phenomenon behind it, so he talks about it with his Servamp Kuro. Kuro does not care too much. He is simply too cold and wants this crazy weather to stop. In another part of the town, in a huge mansion, we see a boy called Misono who is talking to his father while playing a chess game. His father says Misono must stay protected, and that is why he cannot leave his huge mansion ever again. He says how the boy is his last son, and that he is everything to him since he has no one else. Misono's mother passed away 7 years ago, and since then Misono has been the center of his world. The boy asks what about his brother Mikuni, but father gives no answer and goes crazy. The father then leaves the room, and Misono remembers how he used to play chess with his brother. We see that his brother is actually Mikuni, so it is strange how his father claims he has no more sons left. In the evening Misono is seen having dinner, and he is surrounded by his servants. One of the servants talks to another one and mentions something about the subclass children. If the children are hungry, give them some blood, she says. It is a mansion where humans and vampires live together in harmony. Misono then gets a phone call. Mahiru is on the other side of the line, and they talk about this weird snowfall. Mahiru claims it must be vampire related, and requests an urgent meeting. Misono and Mahiru are part of a group that fights evil creatures, and each of them has a Servamp in their possession. Servamp are vampires that can take both human and animal forms, and each of them has certain powers. Misono says that he is not allowed to leave the mansion although he would want to. Later he tries to sneak out of the estate. He walks out at night and his Servamp Lily follows him. He reaches the doors located in the east block of his mansion and has a memory flash. He recalls how he had already entered once this forbidden part of the estate, and he saw something that shocked him. At that point Lily casts some spell and the boy falls asleep. In his dreams, he remembers how his grandfather died, and the talk he then had with his Servamp Lily. Lily is the one who prevents Misono from leaving the mansion, and he is his protector. In his memory he remembers how he gave Lily a watch, which represented a contract item that was needed to make a pact with a Servamp. He then awakens in his room. He goes to have something to eat, and his servants tell him how he should not have tried to leave this place. After that he walks to another room where he gets his education, since he is homeschooled. When the class is finished, he runs into Lily and inquires about the previous night's events. Lily says he has no idea, and that he didn't do anything to him. Back in the city, Misono's friends are having a meeting. Their main subject is this weird snowfall. Mahiru is here together with Tetsu and others. Don't get fooled, these are not all humans, some are Servamps. Mikuni also joins the group, and everyone admires his mighty Servamp. He tells them he knows what is going on, and that this is indeed related to vampires. When a vampire's contract item is broken, a huge cloud of dust particles is formed. He points to one member of the group who recently had his contract item broken, and says this is all because of that. The dust cloud blocks the sun and disturbs the weather. This time it blocked the sun and caused the snow to fall, which is good for the vampires because they can move everywhere even during the day. Mikuni also says that something strange is happening at his mansion, and Mahiru concludes that this must be why Misono did not show up to meet with the others. The boys take their Servamps and rush to the mansion to check on what is going on with Misono. They take a bus and have a talk about Servamps and their contracts with humans. As previously mentioned, Servamps are given a certain object when they form contracts with humans. A person then gives his Servamp a name, and their relationship must be respected by both parties. Person who has a Servamp in his possession and who controls him is called Eve. They arrive at the mansion, but one of the servants forbids them to enter. After some convincing they are allowed to go in, and there they meet Misono's father. He is accompanied by his servants and those children we heard about previously. The man says his son is well and that nothing is wrong, but the group does not believe him. They say they will not leave until they see him. They say Mikuni said something was wrong here, and everyone goes crazy. Tension rises and they all start to fight. Servants subdue the group and one of them whispers something into Mahiru's ear, and he suddenly becomes obedient and wants to leave. Mahiru takes the group outside, and they wonder what just happened back there. They suspect he has been hypnotized or something. He takes them to a shed, pushes them inside and locks the door. In the mansion we see Misono as he walks down those huge corridors. He notices someone who resembles his Servamp, and follows it. Little did he know it was just a decoy controlled by another Servamp, but the evil one belonging to the enemies of his friends. The evil Servamp takes the boy to a room where the members of his household are having a meeting. They all talk about how they must continue with lies, and how they must deceive Misono because it is for his own good. Lily says he put him to sleep the other night, and that he constantly suppresses his memories of some certain event. Misono eardrops and then bursts through the doors. His Servamp tries to calm him down, but Misono is enraged, especially because his Servamp betrayed him. He says he doesn't want to have anything with him anymore, and that their relationship is over. He runs out and Lily follows, but suddenly gets attacked by that evil Servamp who set him a trap. It says how Lily is now weaker, because his Eve Misono abandoned him. They start to fight and other members rush to help Lily. Lily then follows Misono outside and asks him to forgive him. The evil Servamp then comes out of nowhere and stabs Lily, destroying his contract item with its sword. A huge Jinn cloud is then released, and it covers the whole area. The group breaks the shed doors and rushes to see what is going on. They see the Servamp responsible for this mess, but decide to deal with it some other time, and they go to help Lily. Lily is hurt, his contract item is broken, and Misono abandoned him, so he really needs some help right now. His appearance changes and he takes an evil form. He tells Misono to stay away from him and then consumes the boy. The rest watch in disbelief, and immediately jump towards Lily so he could consume them as well. They enter a dark world of Lily's character and memories. Misono is walking the area and notices images from Lily's past. He sees his birth and the birth of his brother, deaths, and a man proposing to a woman. He continues to look at the memories, and they show him that Servamps are not actually immortal. Misono is shocked when he finds out that they were once human. It seems like Lily was also one once. The dark world then sends him to another area where he meets a little girl. She tells him she represents a part of Lily, and tells him she was afraid he wouldn't accept her. Misono has no idea what is she talking about, and then she turns into a woman. The woman grabs Misono and keeps saying how she must protect him. She further states how everything was done out of love. On the other side of this world, the group encounters Mikuni and his Servamp. The two of them attack the group, and they wonder what is going on. They realize it must be Lily who manifested those two to fight them. They beat the manifestation of Mikuni, and Lily starts to scream. Misono's father then collapses, and reveals the truth. He says this house has been destroyed by lust and envy. Lily of Lust was a member of their household for many decades, but then one day he brought Lily of Envy. Envy didn't want to form contract with anybody and locked himself in the room in the east wing. One day, Misono entered that room and saw Mikuni standing above his dead mother. Mikuni killed her, and they erased that memory from Misono's mind. But it goes even deeper. Misono is in the forbidden room where the records about his past are held. He goes through notes, pictures, and diaries and finds out a horrible truth. Misono is actually a bastard, meaning his father had an affair with some other woman whose blood was impure. Misono's other mother found that out, and she killed the woman who was actually the real mother. To do that she used envy, because that way there are no traces. She went crazy, and wanted to get rid of Misono as well, since he was not her child. Mikuni caught her in the act and killed her before she managed to do that. He then took envy with him, and forever ran away from his home, and has not returned ever since. Misono is now filled with mixed emotions, and runs through the mansion. He opens one door, then another, and finally opens the doors that lead to Lily. He is alone, sad because his contractor has abandoned him. Misono now understands everything. He knows Lily did all of this just to protect him, and forgives Lily. He gives him another contract item he found in the Forbidden Room, and they form a new Servamp and human partnership. Misono then, together with the rest of the group, comes out of Lily back into the real world. Misono is later seen playing a chess game with his father again. After many years of trying, he finally beats him, and then tells him he will be leaving the house. He states how he no longer needs his father's protection, and that he wants to protect others. Hey, thank you for staying all the way till the end. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It takes only a second, but it means everything to us. Have a great day and see you in the next video.